Now, I am so invested to know more about these cores, and one thing which has kind of given me a clearer picture is if you can take a look at these cores. So again, just a reminder, I've spoken about it in 2 videos now. This is something that we're leading up to be the next piece of artifact that is going to be that's going to give us a great deal of increase in HP, attack, whatever type of substats that you want to cater to. We're going to get an increase from that. That will then increase our power level. Now, the one thing which has come to my mind is that we know that with these orbs that it can be used for all hunters, being Sun Jin Woo as well as the hunters themselves. There's going to be an element factor to these cores. It's either going to be potentially making it so that you can do fire increased damage, water increased damage, wind increased damage, right? Something that we have already seen within an artifact. Or they could do a thing where it locks it to say that only fire units can use this core, only water units can use this core, and so on, right? Now, take a look at the image, and obviously you can see a hand for the frost one, and I assume this is like a helmet of some sort. Now, one thing which I mentioned is that these are demon correlated, right? So each of these cores has a theme to them in terms of that there's a correlation between these and the demons. Just before I get ahead of myself, again, another reminder, if you guys do want to support your boy, we're one away from 400, which is fantastic. If you guys do need any of the codes, only one of the codes have been sent out. We're still waiting on when this next code will be given out, but obviously I do my daily checks. I just want to put a reminder in. Gina is going to be releasing next week, so I think on Friday I am going to be picking supporters of mine and purchasing you guys the deluxe pass, so that way you've got summons. If you want to put that towards Gina, you can do so, or you can use the deluxe pass of this current deluxe pass for adding your summons over onto Thomas, or no, or Teach Isla, because she's going to be after. I always forget there's always one unit in between half anniversary and Gina, of course. If you already have the deluxe pass, that's fine. I can still send you the funds, and then you can use that to purchase the next pass, so it's all good. Again, I'll be picking the winner either on Friday or Saturday coming up, so supporters, just make sure you double check on the giveaway video that you've entered, and then I'll pick the winners and we're going to be good to go for that one. Now, a huge thank you to Arcus. They hit me up, and it seems that we've got a few things to look into. There's a lot more that I've been shown, which I'll probably speak about separately, because I'm still waiting on seeing on what the developers are going to be doing in terms of, because I mean there's new sets of artifacts happening and whatnot, so I'm just kind of curious on when we're going to be getting that, since right now the full focus on the next artifact are these orbs, aka cores. One thing which I also want to throw in is that it seems that with the guild side of things, remember on the guild that you can get buffs. And currently right now the buffs, I mean, they're nothing, well, they're good, but they're nothing too crazily in terms of the percentage. But as you saw right there with, okay, if my game wants to load, hello. So as you guys can see, this kind of looks like a rare version of it, and it's up by 3%. So maybe as we're progressing with our guild and leveling it up, you got rare, heroic, then legendary. So maybe we could really pump up the extra percentages from then, being able to get a ton of more gold depending on the rarity of the buff. So just kind of want to throw that out there to make sure that people are making sure that their guild is well, that you're doing your part on providing your guild with the XP. Keep it going, get those levels up, because it seems that things are planned. And again, if we can cater to getting better legendary heroic buffs, we are in for an absolute treat on actually getting a huge boost. The gold acquisition in legendary, if that's 15% extra, whew, that's going to be huge. This is going to save a lot of people, I'll tell you that much. Now, this is where things got interesting. So clearly we're seeing some materials, as you guys can see, with these little gems, which could very well be leveling up gems. Who knows? I don't know on what the intention is for the orbs themselves in terms of how they are going to be leveled up. Do they require the same materials as artifacts? I mean, clearly it's going to require gold, that's a no-brainer. But as you guys can see, with some of the bosses, I mean, this one in particular, Metas, of course, this is obviously one of the bosses that we're going to get through the workshop of Brilliant Light, if things plan out with the way that they have with what we've seen before, and there's an arm piece. If you guys can remember from the live stream, you know, there's a hand, there's a headpiece, and so seeing these orbs, because again, as I've mentioned, these orbs or these cores are demon correlated, and so we've got the headpiece, we've got the arm piece, and I assume there'll be another arm piece. Because keep in mind, with actually, I'll bring up the picture. I've already been informed that with the cores, we can apply 3 cores onto a hunter or Sunjinwoo, of course, which makes sense. So what that tells me is that when we're fighting the boss, it's going to be the headpiece and it's going to be the double arm pieces. I mean, they could have really gone out and actually done the whole piece being head, double arm, double legs, of course, right, like the full body. Actually, well, then the chest piece would have been needed, but as it stands right now, that's kind of what we're catering to. Now, there are some other orbs in here which I'm not too sure what's going on here, and especially with the dagger here being the weapon. Oh god, what if they add something to the weapons? That will be interesting. Or maybe it's a core that if you use this weapon, it gets a buff. Like, there's really that. I mean, to be honest, just by looking at this image right here with what's going on, I mean, clearly with the initial play on what they're trying to go with the cores and the buffs, etc. I mean, that's kind of fine, but like, there's a lot that they can do with this. So like with these ones that don't have the demons, I mean, this could very well be cores to cater to and maybe obtain in a few different ways, because as you guys know, Workshop of Brilliant Light, defeating demons, that's one way. By defeating that demon, you'll get their core, right? You'll get their orbs, and there are other means of getting cores and orbs through events and guild shop, right? So maybe there's going to be other cores that are going to be doing something separate compared to what the demons can provide us. Yeah, like, what if this is like increasing some sort of light increase, or make, I don't know, like and again, the weapons, maybe we can get some weapon core buff. So this could open up a door to a lot of things, like a lot to cater to, right? I mean, we've got our artifacts kind of set in stone. I mean, from what I've seen, it seems that there's more to come, but to keep things fresh and to keep us active, to kind of reset that grind, as you could say, this core orb grind, there's a lot that can come out of it. I'll say that much. So yeah, interesting to see, very, very interesting to see. I also think this is also going to be a good thing, because obviously with the next Workshop of Brilliant Light, if it is going to be more tougher in terms of power level, I know some people are going to be like, damn, I want to get a core, or yeah, I want to get like a demon core. And as you guys can see, I think it's this boss. Is it this boss? Yeah, like this boss, I believe, is on the current Workshop of Brilliant Light. So yeah, right here, boom, so there you go. So I think this is going to be a W, to be fair, where if we can, if they make the core thing like a huge accessible thing, to where it's not just added to the new Workshop of Brilliant Light, but it just affects the whole game as a whole, so that even involves Vulcans. That way people can actually go about gaining the core from here. I mean, it's going to be an absolute struggle because you've got the artifacts here. Maybe they might throw it in here so that way there's a chance for you to get it, but obviously in the new Workshop of Brilliant Light, you'll cater it to getting it more at a higher chance, since that's the new piece of equipment or gear, of course. Obviously with normal, there's a chance for you to get a heroic version of it or a legendary, and once you get to the hard stage of it, then it'll go to legendary, but the artifacts will get in the way to hinder you to get those cores, which will then push you to be and trying to get to the newer Workshop of Brilliant Light. But it still gives you a chance to get it, if that makes sense, of course. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on what they plan out of doing. But I just thought this was awesome. So again, huge thank you to the Homie Arcas, of course. There's more things to look into, so I'll take a little gander, see what I can find. But yeah, boys, this is the next big thing that we gotta kind of focus on. Cores. Demon cores and potentially non-demon cores. I don't know what more is going to be happening, but for sure we know demon cores are going to be a thing.